All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Aesop Grimm here, and this is episode 2 for our brand new Bannerlord War Sales playthrough, or I say our a lot. I think in terms of all of us, right? But this is my playthrough for Bannerlord War Sales. My first episode 1, was a live stream done early this morning when the DLC released. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen that, because YouTube is telling me that it won't even start processing until 24 hours from now. If you want to see it, I have the thing loaded up with chapter markers leading all the way up to gameplay. Once you get to gameplay, there's no more chapter markers, but there's a lot going on. Like there's like a 10 or 15 minute wait in the pre-stream screen, and then there's my introduction about what my goals are, what my plan is, and character creation. And I've given you chapter markers so you can skip through it pretty quickly. If you're interested in seeing that, you should be able to open the description box right underneath this video and click on the playlist link that is embedded in there, and then look for episode 1. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and remove the JPEG, and we will continue on with our game. Just as a recap then, to catch you all up to speed if you don't feel like watching episode 1, is that this is a throwaway character I have right now. This is not going to be my main character playthrough. Right now, I just really want to take a hard look at their troop trees. I've listened to a couple videos already on their troop trees, but for me, it just helps to be able to actually see it and do it for myself a little bit so that I can find out how I want to build my character. Namely, do I want javelins or do I want throwing axes? Because I already know that throwing is kind of a big deal for the Nords, or that's the impression I have. But I haven't made it far enough through the storyline yet to get access to Nordic troops. We've not gone north yet. So we're working on that. Looks like Scourge of the Seas is what I'm looking for. Also, the story for War Sales has been interesting. It's a little surprising for me to say that because it seems relatively clear that it's just a spin-off on the main Bannerlord storyline that we're quite familiar with. But I'm telling you, it plays out well. The immersion is good. The environments you end up in, the little things that you see, they set it up well. I think it's done pretty good. 2 thumbs up for me. Okay, Gunnar, I still don't know how to say his name, awaits you in Ostican when you are ready to embark again. I bought food, so let's go talk to Gunnar.
Word spread fast among sailors. We seem to have made a bit of a name for ourselves with that victory off of Valvik. I have someone for you to meet.
So, you are the captain who trashed those so-called sea hounds up north. I have a proposal that I hope would be of interest to a man such as you.
That's funny. I mean, we're in a fantasy world, right? But this dude's accent don't match his skin color. It would have been a lot more believable if he was like, to me, if he was a traveler from Aserai lands that, like, these are his people now, he hangs out with them. But he's originally from Aserai and has an accent from that area. You can make up a believable backstory for this. I just found that to be kind of funny. It might just be the way that the light's hitting him, but I don't think so. So you are the captain who thrashed those so-called sea hounds up north. I have a proposal that I hope would be of interest to a man such as you. Okay, Lahar, what do you have?
I am Lahar, of Kuyaz on the Jade Sea.
Yeah, see, he does come from Kuyaz.
I am here because one of the great families of our city has been having some troubles. The head of one branch, the Lady Fakta, has quarreled over her inheritance with her uncles. The elders of the town backed the uncles, so she took to the sea with her retainers and vowed to ravage their shipping.
You know what it is? This happened in my first episode too. I'm kind of missing a little bit on the accents I'm hearing. His first line to me sounded like a Nordic accent speaking English. This line here sounded a little bit more like he was from the Aserai like the kind of Middle Eastern accent you would expect from a lands like the Asurai. And I had that issue in the last episode where I thought I heard in the opening dialogue a Nordic accent, but then later it was our brother. It shifted to more of a British accent. So I might just be hearing things wrong. But head of one branch, Lady Fada, has quarreled over her inheritance with her uncles. The elders of the town backed the uncles, so she took to the sea with excuse me. Sorry, I just had sour cream and onion Pringles. She took to the sea with her retainers and vowed to ravage their shipping. All right, and I'm drinking my cola. How formidable a foe is this Fada? What does this have to do with our quarrel with the Sea Hounds? Well, yeah, I assume that it does because Gunnar is tied into it, right? But I'd like to know in what way. It's good to know context when you're about to go into war.
The Lady Fakta has reportedly joined up with these sea hounds, as pirates often band together. She has been prowling about the Gulf of Charas, taking Kuyazi vessels. You wish to continue hunting sea hounds, do you not? Those would be good waters in which to hunt, and if you are going there, I would like to come with you and lend my assistance.
I see. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. How formidable a foe is this Fada?
The lady is good at her craft. Fakta has been sailing since she was a child. She always wears a sailor's cap, and underneath she is as bold as an egg.
Wow.
She persuaded her late father to take her to sea, so the story goes, by cutting off all of her long shining hair, lest it catch in the rigging. She has taken several Kuyazi ships, and I would be reluctant to fight her alone.
Okay, so a pirate who goes against societal norms, right? She goes to extremes. This is a chick that's got her own personality. Now that doesn't necessarily make her good, right? Well, it doesn't. She's a pirate, right? This is all bent in another direction. This is a bitter, hateful woman, I think.
Father also traffics in captives with the Sea Hounds. She may have bought or held your sister at some point.
Okay.
Or if not, at least she may be able to tell us more about the Sea Hounds' trade in slaves.
Let's ask it this way right here. If you wish to weaken these Sea Hounds, you may want to strike at their allies first. And, of course, the elders of Kuyaz will be most happy to pay a handsome reward, of which you and Gunnar would receive your fair share. What will you bring on our hunt?
I have my loyal crew and the swiftly Burda, outfitted with a ram, which I think you might put to good purpose.
Ah, okay.
It would be especially useful if we encounter any slow but powerful ships that would be costly to take by boarding.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Sail to the Gulf of Karas. Alright, so that's going to be down around, let's see, Karas is going to be all the way south. There's Jacqueline. Karas is over here. We have 32 days of food. Corsair hunting grounds. And we're leveling up in scouting. Alright, let's go ahead and speed time up. Oh man, that scouting's really kind of jumping up there, huh? Okay. We have 82 men. Let's try taking these guys out.
Ahoy! We're simple fishermen. We've no quarrel with you.
You're not armed like fishermen, sir. Attack. Okay. Lahar, I guess I'll have you on. We only have the one ship. So then you're with me. You're with nobody. Formation currently empty. What about auto deploy? Okay, yeah, we just have the one ship. Okay. Wind is with us, so let's drop the sail. Alright, we're taking on 3 of their ships. We're gonna hit their... With the way the wind is going, it looks like we're gonna hit their left flank. The game continues to look absolutely stunningly gorgeous. The mix of oranges and blues, pinks and purples. Really nice. Ineffective ram. Man, it didn't look ineffective. Oh, that looks sketchy, man. Oh, they're boarding us over here, okay. I think our black and gold is looking all right. Oh, goodness. It's over. We have destroyed them. Okay, well, how many people did we lose? We lost 3 Aserai troops. Not bad, guys, not bad. Alright, we got 5 level ups here. A warrior. Oh, you know what? Can we look at... Well, it's a Corsair warrior. This, I don't know why I didn't think to do this before, man. I really don't. Okay, so we're going to go to troops. Soldiers. Nord. All right, this is the nitty gritty. This is really what I've been looking forward to. I want to find out about this. Okay, I'm just getting comfortable here. I'm like raising a leg up, scooting out a little bit to get some more leg room. All right, filters. Go back. Troops. Infantry. Soldier. Nord. Okay, here's the entire troop tree. So let's see here. We got a Nord youngling. That's where we start out. These are our recruits. They get a one-handed axe. Pretty good swing speed. And 44 weapon length doesn't seem like it's bad for that kind of swing speed. High handling as well. They also get a rope-bound shield. Okay. Class 2. 85 speed, 300 points. Tunic with a leather vest. Armor tier 1. A total of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 armor. And then boots on top of that for another 4, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 armor total. I do kind of wish they would give you the totals. Tier 1 infantry, when you have this water symbol underneath the weapon, that means that they're a mariner. Okay, now a youngling can either become a Nord huntsman or a Nord warrior. Let's go ahead and look at the archery tree first. Oh, look at that face paint, man. The war paint. Okay, so this is tier 2. Their armor, also tier 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 armor for their first rank level archer. They're going to get a mountain hunting bow. Okay. 41 pierce, 82 in accuracy, 67 in missile speed. They get 2 stacks of arrows. Now, this is something I've heard. Every Nord archer gets 2 stacks of arrows right up until you get to their final highest rank archer, and they drop 1 stack of arrows for a shield, and they become kind of actually a hybrid melee archer type. Now, there's been some complaints about that, but I think it may actually play out quite well for the Nord's style. Exhaust a stack of arrows, and by that time in the fight, it's time to get some. Yeah, and they can do it, better than most archers in the game. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm just putting that out there as a possibility. But they get this tier 1 bow. They get the 2 stacks of arrows with 1 piercing damage and 20 arrows apiece, so 40 total. And they get a hatchet. Okay, so that's an axe. Yes, one-handed axe. 106 speed, 35 swing damage, 44 weapon length, 105 handling. This is the same? Well, no, I'm sorry, right here. Yeah. Nord work hatchet. Okay. So it's the same hatchet they bring with them. They just get a bow added on. And they have, I think, about the same armor, too, that this guy had. Next in line, then, they're going to rank up into Nord Freeman archers. This is your tier 3 troop. They get some pauldrons. So this is a total of 4, 5, 6, 7 armor. Then, notice the weights also. I think these armors are lighter than most people's, so it's going to help them in their speed. How much do I have here? 7? 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking at maybe 41 armor if I did my math right. 41 armor. They get a tier 3 bow here. So that jumps up significantly, right? 64 pierce damage, 94 accuracy, 82 missile speed. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a significant leap. They have the same arrows. These are called barbed arrows. Yes. So that 1 piercing damage. And they also get 40. And they have a leather-bound Nord hatchet. This is weapon tier 2. It remains fast with high handling. It's a little bit longer at 47 weapon length. And clocks in at 52 weapon damage. Okay, so that's a significant jump up in both armor and armament. They upgrade into the Nord Marksman. Now this might be your bread and butter pure archer for the Nords, I guess. Is you might want to keep a stack of archers that don't promote. That's just an idea. I don't know that I would have very many of them. I think I'd want most of them to be these guys. But let's see how they're outfitted compared to the Nord Sky Gods chosen. So we have 35 armor right here. You know what? I'm going to want a calculator for this. Give me just a second, guys. Okay. So it was 35 armor, I think. Yes. 35 plus. Ooh, he actually downgrades here. 3 body armor plus. I think that's the same. 28 plus. No, it's not the same. Plus 6 and plus 6. And then the feet are also plus 6. That's going to give you a total of 84 armor. 84 armor. What was the guy before? 40 something, I think. This was 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 28 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5, 46. Yeah, so he just about doubles in armor. So it's a substantial jump. Over here, we're looking at a tier 3 Woodland U bow. 91 speed, 61 pierce. That's big pierce damage. Well, I don't know how it is compared to what else is available in the game. 92 accuracy and 76 missile speed. Okay. Then he gets his 2 stacks of barbed arrows. And his Nord hatchet, 55, 52. Okay, those are both upgrades, but it's a little bit lower in swing speed, a little bit longer in weapon length, a little bit lower in handling. So it's an upgrade overall. I guess, you know, maybe it's just a little bit different. You trade a little bit of speed and handling for a little bit more damage and length. Okay, here comes the big question then, the Sky Gods. Get my calculator ready. Okay. Tier 6 helmet, 46 armor. Tier 1 shoulder piece at 7 armor. Tier 4 chest piece, 25 plus 11 plus 13. And a tier 1 boot at 7 gives us 109 armor. 109 armor. They get the Woodland longbow, 88 in speed, 64 pierce, 94 accuracy, 82 missile speed. It's a tier 3. 88 speed, 64 pierce. I don't know. This U-bow looks like it might be a little bit better. 94 and 82. Oh, okay. It's not. This bow is better. So their bow upgrades. They stay with they get a stack of barbed arrows. Decorated Nordic shield. Tier 5, 86 in speed, 540 hit points. And clocks in at about 5 pounds. It's a large shield. And then they get a leather-bound Nord battle axe. One-handed axe, 93 in swing speed, 72 damage, 64 in weapon length. How did that compare? 52, okay. So it's longer, but still with 90 handling. Wow. So these guys are going to be, I think that they're going to be pretty good for being archers. Whenever it comes to dealing out some melee damage. They've got 109 armor and they got a large shield. I think I like it. I think it's an interesting concept. We'll see how this pans out. Okay, let's move over to the regular infantry, starting with the Nord Warrior. That guy looks cool. I had to unlock my phone, clear everything. So we got 7 armor in the headpiece. We got 6, 3, and 2. And we have 5. So he clocks in at 23 armor. A Dranger long axe. 73 in weapon length. 86 in swing speed, 67 damage, and 82 handling. Okay. A rope bound shield, tier 2, 85 in speed, 300 hit points, 4.4 weight. Knobbed short spear, 89 in thrust speed, 27 thrust damage, 142 in weapon length. This is a one-handed polearm, and its handling is 75. Okay, now from him, so that doesn't seem all that great, but this is just your second tier, tier 2. When we get to tier 3, you can either be a Nord Axe Warrior or a Nord Spear Warrior. The Nord Axe Warrior, let me see what he gets. He gets a leather-bound Nord Battle Axe, the leather round shield, Herdman's Sword. So no throwing weapons yet. He gets a sword and an axe. I am not sure how I feel about that. Maybe one of these should be a two-hander. I don't... You guys that know more than I do, do you see something being... Does he get some extra flexibility or ability to deal with different situations by carrying both a sword and an axe? That to me just seems like conflicting ideologies. Like you want to pick one or the other and specialize in that. Even when it comes to my leader, my party leader, and how I choose perks, this I feel like this puts me in a weird position where now I need perks for both sword and axe. I don't think it's going to stay that way. It might just be confined to this troop right here, but I right now, just on the surface of it, do not like this idea. I don't understand what's going on here. All right, let's add up the numbers on the armor. So we got a tier 3 headpiece at 26 armor. We have a tier 1 shoulder piece at total of 9 armor. We've got a sleeveless padded short coat. That's tier 2 for 15 plus 2 plus 7. And then we have a tier 0 leg piece at 4, just 4. So 63 armor for a tier 3 troop. I'm not sure how that stacks up against other factions. To me, it doesn't really sound all that impressive, but maybe I'm off. And then the battle axe is 93 in weapon speed, 64 in length, 90 in handling, 72 damage. The leather round shield, tier 3, 82 speed, 440 hit points. That seems pretty good. And the Herdman's Sword, tier 3, 101 swing speed, 47 swing damage, 95 thrust speed, 43 thrust damage. These might be really good to use in a shield wall. 95 weapon length, 95, that's pretty good too. 98 in handling. It seems like a good sword. So maybe the axe is for beating down dudes' shields, like the opposing infantry shields, and then they switch to their swords to do the real butchery. It just, I don't know if they have the AI programmed that way or not. How do these guys function? What makes them choose their axe or their sword? Is it random or is there logic built in? Over here for the Nord Spear Warrior. Now it looks like we're starting to get into throwing weapons. All right, so let's look at the armor first. Got to unlock the phone again. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, he has a long linen fur cape. Tier 2. 8+4. And then chest piece is tier 3. 18, 4, and 8. Followed by hands that are tier 1. That's another 10 armor. Followed by feet, which are 4. That's a tier 0. So kind of crap feet. 56 total armor. What was this guy at? I thought he was in the 60s. 56 total armor compared to... $63. Well, to me, ironically enough, your Nord Axe Warrior seems to be armored more, but your Spear Warrior, which I would expect to be more defensive oriented, has less armor. Man, doesn't that look cool, though. Alright, well, let's look at his weapons. He gets a fur round shield, 82 speed, 450 hit points. That's a tier 4, so it's, I guess, a better shield. I think this guy had a tier 3. Yeah. Although it's 82, 440 also. 4.7 weight. Hey, man, those are the same. Why is one a tier 4 and one a tier 3? Maybe there's something else going on there that I don't know about. These guys get javelins. A Nord javelin. 84 weapon length. 110 pierce. What's that speed? 28. 92 in accuracy. Gets 5 of them. Then they have a sword. It's a tier 4. 91, 64, 92, 34, 104 in length. That's really good. 91 handling. And they get the polearm. One-handed polearm, 8330, 194 in length, 58 in handling. Braceable, nice. Nice. Okay. Now we need to, let's just stick with the spear infantry for now. The Nord Spear Warrior upgrades to the Nord Warfang. Warfang gets a decorated sword. A little bit shorter than the other swords, but high, pretty high stats all the way across the board, it seems. Maybe a little underwhelming in the swing damage and thrust damage. But how many times he can swing and how accurate he is with the swing are all pretty high up there. So he gets hits. The Varger Atgeir, polearm. 85, 43, 160 with 66 handling. Okay. Well, I don't know how impressed I am about that. He doesn't have any shield. That polearm has a blade on it. Is there a swing speed associated with this? Oh, it is. This will cleave. This guy's like shock infantry. Well, it says one-handed. But this sucker will do cleave damage. Can we move him around? No. He might do a lot of... He might really jack some people up, man. Okay, how's he situated? I would envision this dude being in a second line of defense since he doesn't have a shield. So he's going to shoot through gaps and be offensive oriented. I do think he's a shock troop. Looks like we have 7+4. And then 40 plus 12 plus 5. Followed by 18. That seems good. Followed by 7. All right, he's clocking in at 93 armor. This guy might be pretty good. Then we got the wolf heads, right? Nord Ulfadin. We'll look at armor first. Oh, he's got throwing weapons. So far I've seen one javelin. Need to try and keep all this in mind. He's got 16 armor here. 9 here. 25, 10, and 12. 4. 76 armor. That's pretty light. Oh, he's got 2 sets. $16. So there's a couple variants of these guys. 9. 39 and 9. 4. 77. Pretty close. I don't think those were, I don't remember what the last number was, but they seem pretty close. Okay, he's got a Ulfudnar sword. Seems pretty good overall. Tier 5. He's got a pole arm. It says it's a one-handed, but it's the same one, right? I see that big blade on it. Ulfudnar Atgeir. Vargar Artgeir, so they're different. Tier 6. Tier 6. 171 in weapon length. It's longer. Okay. And he has lowland throwing knives. Okay, well, I don't imagine there's anybody out there that are really excited about, hey man, my guy has throwing knives. But we'll see how it plays out on the actual field. He gets 3 stacks of them. 95 accuracy, 32 missile speed, 50 pierce, 42 weapon length. Okay. And set 2, also throwing knives. Armament is the same. It's the armor that changes. I think this guy also he has 3 different sets. Vargar decorated sword. Decorated fuller sword. Okay, well, we have some variation here. They are all cleaving pole arms. All of them have swing speed. Am I right about that? I was looking at the graphic. Swing speed and swing speed. So the changes are going to be in the armor. And I guess that's to simulate not all of your troops have the same quality armor. It's not, things aren't standardized yet. That was something that was true in the early medieval ages. It wasn't until the late medieval period, if I recall correctly, that professional standing armies began to get state-issued standardized armor and equipment. Okay. We got 3 sets here too. Do they all keep javelins? Yeah. Okay. Over to the axe warriors then. We're going to look at the shield biters. A throwing axe. So we have throwing knives, throwing axes, and javelins so far. It looks like we have more troops with javelins thus far. Okay, 93 accuracy, 76 cut, and 3 stacks of them. Nordic decorated targe, 82 and 500. That seems pretty good. Reinforced leather-bound battle axe. That seems decent. Okay, how do we look for armor? He's got 3 variants. We're just really going to tally up the first one because I would imagine they're all kind of in the ballpark of each other. 54. 8 and 3. 14, 7 and 7. So 14 and 14. 20. Wow. That's... Oh, whoa, I messed up. I hit the wrong button here. Why is that doing that? There we go. Then the boots are 6 armor. $119 armor. That's the best armored troop that we've seen so far. Throwing axe. Throwing axe. Okay, let's add up this guy's armor just to 119 is the target we're looking for. That or better. 54. 9 and 5. 14 and 14. 24. And 6. 126. That's a jump. Okay. Nord Berserker. Wow, this guy looks amazing. So he has the bear head. This dude has a 2-handed axe. Obviously, we have a problem here. Type 2-handed axe. Class 1-handed axe. So I would imagine that that's just a typo for Tail Worlds, because everything else reads like a 2-hander. 83 weapon length is kind of eh. I mean, we've got some 1-handers that are longer than that, but they're swords. Okay. A Huskarl runed sword. This is a 1-handed sword. 89 in weapon length. See that 83 in weapon length for the Berserker axe? I don't know. We'll have to see what that looks like on the field. Engraved throwing axes. Throwing axes are starting to look like the dominant feature. And a steel cross shield, 86 and 520. All right, let's look at... Well, let's run through these sets first. Stays with the throwing axe. Berserker axe. Berserker axe, okay. $113 weapon length. And a different shield, 86 and 520. Okay, same stats though, just looks different. That's cool, so to add in some variety. Okay, here we go. 22 plus 14 and 5 plus 25, 10, and 12 plus 24 plus 6. gives us 118. 118. And then there's going to be some variants of that. Okay. So again, another offensive. This is a supposed to be a shock troop, I would imagine. Well, he does have a shield. No, it's more like he's flexible. He can, well, I kind of like that. I might not have to have a second division. I might just have to have one infantry division, and they mix together pretty well. Or, you know, 2 or 3, depending on if I want to set squares up in different areas, but I don't have to separate two-handers from one-handers. I think that they're going to sort themselves relatively well. Okay, looking at the Nord Marauder then. Nord Marauder, I haven't been looking at their skills. I'm not going to really know what I'm talking about there anyway. He has an engraved throwing axe, 3 stacks of them, and then he gets the hollowed wing axe. Now look at that weapon length, 116. It's a two-handed weapon, and it's classified as a two-handed weapon. You know what? I think this guy does not have a two-handed weapon. Oh, maybe it was this guy. No, which one was it? The bear dudes. I think this is your frontline infantry. I think they have a one-handed axe and a one-handed sword. Here's your two-handed infantry. Throwing weapons and a two-handed axe. We'll take a look at his armor. Unlocking my phone again. He's got 51, 3. That's pretty weak. 24, 10, and 10. So 24 and 20 and 6. 104. Got 3 variants. With the weaponry, well, right there it changes. It's still a throwing axe though. 43, 80, 26, 93. 40, 76, 26, 93. So the difference is in how much cut damage and how fast they are. And a little bit with weapon length. Again, same ballpark. You just have some variations. And, oh, look at this. Their armor actually does change. This guy's got better armor here. So let's tally him up. 51 plus 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 24 and 20, that's the same. Plus 6, that's also the same. Puts him at 112. But this guy here loses the shoulder piece. So he's a little bit lower. Okay. Alrighty then, so we have frontline troops, shock troops, anti-cav. Oh, and I haven't looked at this guy yet, did I? This is the Nord Skjoldbrestir. Throwing axes. Raven's Wing Axe. 129 weapon length. Oh man, these are awesome. 84 in swing speed, 129 swing damage. He's going to do big damage with that. And then they have a one-handed axe as well. Okay, so then predictably, the Nords are very axe dependent. That's where I would specialize my perks as a party leader. And they have a lot of throwing axes, so I think you might want to perk up in axes over javelins. We'll take a look at the tree and see if that's how the perk tree looks. Let's check out, let's tally up their armor. All right, 51 head armor, which is a really good headpiece. Not elite, but it is good. 3 body armor, that's crap. 24 and 20, that's the same as the previous tree. And 7 for the boots gives you 105. So not an impressive upgrade there, but they are shock troops. They're supposed to be fast. And here's your anti-cav right here. So that's it. Front line, shock troop, anti-cav, archer with melee capability. Okay. Real quick, let's take a look at their noble line. How do we do that? How do I do that? Troops, soldier. Is it here? Okay, I know that he's a noble. Here it is. This is their noble line. So we're actually going to start right here. Noble Scion. I don't know if I said that right. Dranger long axe. Drilled leaf short spear. Nord throwing axe. Fur round shield. They got a little bit of everything. So what are we looking at here? 86 swing speed, 73 in length, 67 in damage, 82 in handling. Speed 87, weapon length 152. 28 thrust damage. Okay, so this is a spear. Yep. 71 handling. The throwing axe is tier 3. 93 accuracy. And a 3 stack amount. And then 82 and 450. Now I'm going to do this one differently. We're going to compare weapons. We're going to go down the line and compare weapons. Then we'll come back and do the armor. Nord War Proven. He gets a leather-bound Nord battle axe, a herdman spear, a leather-round shield, and a northern throwing axe. Okay. I've seen this sword before. This spear is 83, 32, 204 in weapon length. Like, it's good armament. He kind of can deal with any situation. And then these throwing axes seem very good. 3 stacks of them. The Nord Hearthguard. Leather-bound hardened battle axe. Okay. Hide-bound Nord throwing axe. 80 cut. 93 accuracy. What was the guy before? 100 cut. These seem better. 93 in accuracy, missile speed of 26. Ah, yeah, they do. They just seem flat out better. They're both both tier 4 though. Alright, and then he gets a decorated Targe. 82, 500. His House Guard Spear, 233 in length, 78 in thrust speed. Okay. Horse Guard Spear. So definitely anti-cav. Moving on to the Nord Shield Companion. Who, ironically enough, does not have a shield. Is that right? No, there it is. Okay. Nord Battle Axe. Okay. Jarlsman Spear. 217 in length. Steel Cross Shield, 86 speed and 520 hit points. That's pretty substantial. Balanced Engraving Throwing Axe. We've seen those before. Yeah, definitely throwing axes, and that makes sense. I guess that was somewhat predictable also. I prefer javelins, but for Nordic flavor, I mean, I don't know how you don't go with throwing axes. That just seems too on the point for, thematically. And then the Nord Huskarl. Now, I've heard it said that these guys look like they're built more for defense. And that they're there to absorb damage while other troops are able to dish it out better. But let's look at what they got. Huskarl Spear. 81 speed, 42 damage, 211 in weapon length, 60 in handling. Couchable. Couchable, huh? Why would you have a... I would rather that be braceable. They can't ride horses. Couchable really benefits from speed. Okay. Decorated Nordic Shield, 86 and 540. Huskarl Runed Sword seems to be very good. And then the Balanced Engraving Throwing Axes. Okay. Well, let's start back up at the top and start tallying up armors. I'm not too worried about the various sets. They're all going to be pretty close. It's there for variation. I like that. I think it's realistic. Tier 2, Chained Fur Cloak, 7 plus 4. Tier 2, Marine Leather Gambeson, 12, 4 and 4. And Tier 0, Leg Armor, Boots, that's plus 4. So the first rank of Nobility line clocks in at 35 armor. 35 armor. Then we have rank 2, and it's going to be 8 and 4. Let's look at the visuals. Okay. And then 18, 4 and 6. Gives me 40. And then plus another 5, 45. He has 45 armor. Okay. Tier 3. 51. That's very good. 8 and 4 for shoulder piece is good. Uh, 39 and 9. So 30 plus 18. And finally, 6 on leg armor. 117 for tier 3. Oh, look, it's not asteroid. These little, in my first episode, I felt like these colored beads were more for, not asteroid, but Kuzate. But they are here for Nords. I think that is goofy looking. I don't know if I could see Nords doing that, but their shields were kind of like that, so maybe. Okay. 51 plus 15 and 10, man, for a shoulder piece, a cloak. That's really nice. 40, 12, and 5. $15 and 22. 170, man. 170 armor for this rank right here. So finally we get to tier 6. And they're detailed. What's different here? This guy looks the same as tier 1. No, okay, this is different. 51, 15 and 10. 40, 12, and 5. And 22. I think that's... Oh, I'm counting the same guy. Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's the same. Okay. Try this again. 51. 15 and 10. 40, 12, and 5. With 22 for leg armor, which is excellent. 155. So that's what I remember hearing this too. That actually goes down from this guy. This guy was at 170. Well, that doesn't really match up with what I said, did I? Because I had said they seem like they're made more for defense. But he lowers. Does he get better offense? Huskarl's Spear, that's the same as what he's got, isn't it? Jarlsman Spear, tier 4 versus tier 5. Very good sword. 86 and 540. A little bit better shield. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's go ahead and hit done here. Do I have any upgrades? Yes, I do. I think I want to stay with axes. And I'm gonna probably stay with throwing axes because that's what I'm gonna specialize in. Even though I like javelins. And then bring us over here to character. I want to look at these perks. 20% draw speed with throwing weapons. 10% draw speed with throwing weapons to troops in your formation. Or 40% damage to shields with throwing weapons. 8% damage to shields with throwing weapons by troops in your formation. Okay, so that stays general. It would apply to all throwing weapons. 10% damage while using throwing weapons as melee, plus 15 control skills of infantry, and 15 vigor skills of archers in your formation. And for us, as a captain leader, it would apply to everybody, or a party leader, I mean. This actually, flexible fighter might be really good to take for the Nords. They seem like they're built for it, given how their archers end up with their final form, so to speak. Yeah, I would probably do that and rely on my polearms, because we got a lot of polearms too. for anti-cav. Mounted skirmisher. Well, that's not going to really apply, is it? Negative 20% accuracy penalty with throwing weapons while mounted. Plus 10% damage with throwing weapons by mounted troops in your formation. Well prepared. Plus 1 ammunition for throwing weapons. Plus 1 ammunition for throwing weapons to troops in your party. That's the one I would go with. Knockoff. Thrown weapons can now dismount and ignore 25% dismount resistance on attacks against cavalry. Or and then also plus 5% throwing weapon damage to cav by troops in your formation. Or a running throw. Plus 0.3% damage bonus from speed with throwing weapons. And plus 30 throwing skill to troops in your formation. I would run with that. Right here, saddlebags, plus 2 ammunition for throwing weapons when you start a battle mounted. Okay, not really applicable. Plus 1 daily experience to infantry troops in your party. Versus negative 10% damage taken by ranged attacks while holding a throwing weapon. Negative 3% damage taken by ranged attacks to troops in your formation. Negative 3% damage taken by ranged attacks. Oh, that's just all the time. They don't say when holding a throwing weapon there. So this one obviously has the party leader one, which is pretty nice. But for Nord, I think I would go with this because we're not going to have a tremendous amount of cav. We're not going to have any cav to start out with. I'm just planning on having my guy progress to that point because that's how I want to play him. Focus, plus 25% zoom with throwing weapons, and plus 1 governor doesn't really matter. Plus 1 daily security in the governed settlement. Last hit, plus 50% damage to enemies with less than half of their hit points left. Okay. Plus 5 starting battle morale for troops in your party. Well, that's the one we would run with. For our guy here, we're never going to be a governor. That's why the governor one doesn't matter. If I'm making a troop that is going to be a governor, then it would matter. Headhunter, plus 50% headshot damage with thrown weapons and negative 20% recruitment cost of tier 2 plus troops. Or sling weapons can penetrate head armor. Well, that's not going to be applicable, so we would go with Headhunter. Resourceful, plus 2 ammunition for throwing weapons. Plus 10% experience from battles to troops in your party equipped with throwing weapons. Ooh, that would be nice. Since a lot of our troops have throwing weapons. Triple damage against shields with throwing axes. God, that sounds nice also, though. Plus 50% damage to shields with throwing weapons by troops in your formation. I think I would go with splinters. But they both seem really good. I'll be interested to see what Tactical Enlightenment's view is on this. Does he see a clear-cut winner, or does he believe both of these are good? And it's just which flavor, you know, what fits your playstyle better. Long reach. You can pick up items from the ground while mounted. All right, plus 20% morale and renown gained from battles won. Well, that certainly sounds pretty good. But of course, you know, mounted. That's very dissuasive. Plus 25% travel speed to your throwing weapons, and plus 10% travel speed to throwing weapons of troops in your formation. We're taking that for sure. Impale javelins you throw can penetrate shields, and plus 10% damage with throwing weapons by troops in your formation. So this would benefit you if you're carrying javelins and still give a general throwing weapon improvement to all of your troops. Plus 30% armor penetration with throwing weapons, plus 10% armor penetration with throwing weapons by troops in your formation. Damage versus armor penetration. Let's look at the last one real quick. Plus 2% travel speed to your throwing weapons for every skill point above 200, And plus 0.5% damage with throwing weapons for every skill point above 200. Okay. Well, the way that the perk tree lays out, I could carry javelins, which is my preference over throwing axes. Because it stays general to throwing weapons. It doesn't really force you to specialize, which is nice. Javelins you throw can penetrate shields. And plus 10% damage to throwing weapons by troops in your formation. I think I'd probably go with that. This seems nice also. 30% armor penetration. And then your troops get 10% armor penetration. But that flat 10% damage, I think might be better. It might be better. Especially when considering the context of a full battle. Not everybody's going to be super armored up, right? So this would apply to heavy armored people. And this would just apply to everybody. You feel this bonus across the board. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. All right, let's take a look real quick at one-handed. Because I want to see if there's anything in here that's like really benefits having an axe. Right here. And I already talked about it whenever I selected the upper one. Yeah, I think I'd just rather have the flat 2% swing speed with one-handed weapons. Okay, cavalry, wild mounted, shield bearer. We'll probably take that. Yeah. One-handed weapon. So it's still general. 2 hit points. Okay. Large shield protection. Large shield protection. Okay, this is stuff with shields. Yeah, it doesn't look like you have to specialize, guys. Which is really, in my opinion, how a perk tree ought to be. It should be, because you're going to have mixed troops so many times, it should be choices between how you want to benefit your group. As far as like what kind of ability do you want to gain versus whether or not you want your group to have to specialize in swords or axes. That's what I think, and it looks like that's what they think also. Damage to shields. Yeah, it's again just generalized. One-handed weapons, melee weapon damage, hit points, melee attacks, damage against shields with one-handed weapons, plus 15 party limit. Wow. Attack speed for one-handed weapons and damage. Okay. Two-handed weapons. This is in case I was... Well, I'm not. I don't have my guy built for... Well, I should still look. Okay, here's one. 10% damage with two-handed axes and maces. Plus 2% damage by infantry in your formation. So the captain one is general. The personal one is specified. Plus 3% swing speed with two-handed weapons. That's generalized. So this is like the one-handed. This is the one I would take. Because I would value swing speed. I would value swing speed over damage that specializes into one weapon or another. Because swing speed is going to translate to damage. 5 experience to infantry, two-handed weapon, okay. Two-handed weapons. Two-handed weapons. Two-handed weapons. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Looks like they are generalized. We are at how long? An hour 15. So we're going to wrap this episode up right here. We're going to hit save as, and I'm going to create a new slot called Campaign 2. All right, now between last episode and this episode, I feel like I've got all of the setup and the things that I wanted to investigate done. And we're going to be moving forward. The next episode I record, this one I'm going to put up Wednesday also. It's 2:23 in the afternoon. I'm going to upload this and have this available for you guys in a couple hours. The next episode I record, which I will probably also record today, is going to be for Friday. Right, 2 episodes in one day I feel like is more than enough, and you guys probably wouldn't appreciate it if I loaded you up with 5 videos in one day. So we're going to go with that, and then the next episode is going to be for Friday, and that's where we're really going to just delve into gameplay. Going to try and get into some fights, progress the storyline, hopefully make it up north and start recruiting Nordic soldiers and see what a Nord army or warband plays like. So, again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well for in your neck of the woods. And for the Americans out there, hey, man, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you really have a great day tomorrow and that you're able to make contact with, at least, because I don't know what your situation is. You could be like I used to be, where you're deployed or you're stationed overseas or something. But I hope you're able to make contact with loved ones and that you have a peaceful day. God bless you guys. And I'll see you on Friday. It's you. You're half of you are mentally ill. The other half of you are sociopathic. You make trashy games that nobody wants to play, that's full of more sermons than it is good gameplay. It's your fault. Everybody hates you. Get used to this.
I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 No filter, I got no filter.
My side, the MAGA world order is loving this. We did this to you, by the way. And we want all the credit.